Here we go. We're gonna ask some questions to get to know each other better. So number 1. Audrey, if you could bring one musician back from the dead, who would it be and why?
That's really hard. I wasn't prepared for that. That one's too hard. Because I want to say there's like a lot of answers I have.
What's the first name that comes to your head?
Kurt Cobain.
Yes, that's the one that I said!
Really?
Yes.
But then I'm also thinking like John Lennon.
I know, but I said Kurt
George
Cobain.
Harrison. But the first person that popped is Kurt Cobain.
Why?
He just always spoke to my heart. Like, he wasn't talented. Like, he was talented, like, a talented lyricist, but, like, his music wasn't that good, but it just hit you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It was raw, you know? Because, like, we're imperfect and ugly, and, like, his music was imperfect and ugly, and it, like,
that's
just
so
reflects
true.
You, you know? I don't know.
I really like that answer. I'm just happy I felt it. I felt that you had to say
I wanted to say something more important, like Mozart.
I know!
But I'm not cool enough.
Or Jimi Hendrix. What do you define as manliness? I personally define manliness as somebody who is willing to stand for what's right and be himself. It has nothing to do with anything that he looks like or is like, my workout macho. I don't care about any of that. I'm so mad.
I'm so mad.
Yeah, so what do you describe as manly?
I would describe manly as... See, I took that question differently. I took it as, what do you think of the definition as of, like, by today's, standards? Like...
What do you define as manliness?
Yeah, I took that wrong.
Okay. I'll say whatever you want to say. I mean, it's not
okay,
like
okay. I think real manliness is not subjecting yourself to the standards of being manly by society's opinions. Like, you can't cry, and you gotta take this protein milk, and you gotta punch people in the face when they're wrong about stuff. Don't use your words. Like, that is not manly. That to me is really immature. I think that's
and like you can't like certain colors because you have to be.
Say it like that. I tried to say it funny. Churdish.
You gotta be churdish.
No, I think manliness is real maturity. Is like not being afraid of feelings and not being afraid of love and not being afraid of just who you are. And that's
totally agree.
That's humanness, really.
Just be human, everybody. Everybody just be
achieve
human.
Humanness.
Can you?
You can. You're a cat. It's okay.
If you had to choose to live without one of your 5 senses, which one would you give up? I would give up taste.
I think I'd give up smell.
Why?
Because as much as I like the smell of flowers, you know, maybe I should give up taste. Because then I could just eat only healthy stuff. But taste is so important. It's like an art. Now I would give up smell. I'll just give up smell because I really like tasting things.
See, I couldn't give up smell because I love smelling things too much, like cookies or anything else. But
I would just taste the cookies.
Yeah, I don't want to have. If I had to give up.
Oh, the cookie!
Just show. Well, anyways. Okay.
Can't smell them, but I see them.
I see them and I lick them.
I got taste.
Okay, if you could live in a book, TV show, or movie, what would it be?
Star Wars.
Oh, that's a good one! Oh man, that didn't even come to my head. How did that not even come to my head?
I'm disappointed.
I don't have any answer for this one. I've been trying for
That's
like a
hard.
day.
Because then I'm also thinking Lord of the Rings. I'd love to be an elf.
Oh, I hate to be an
elf. Oh, I'd love to be an elf.
I would do Star Wars.
But no, I'm talking more like The Hobbit. No, I would pick Star Wars. No, but
I would kill myself. I'd be like, spiders, eat my face.
That is so true, Star Wars. Because, well, I mean, you're gonna encounter giant spiders there too.
That's true. But at least you can like.
Yeah, at least you have like laser guns. You know.
I could just push away with my belief. Just.
Oh, that's
I believe you'll walk away from me.
Chokehold a spider.
Yeah.
They have throats. Moving on.
I don't want to picture it. If you could get away with a crime, would you? If yes, what would it be?
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't either. So
jaywalking. I do that every day. I live on the edge.
We live on the edge.
The edge of the crosswalk. I walk on the crosswalk usually.
Yeah, I usually drive on the crosswalk.
Do you drive on the crosswalk?
No, I try to find the crosswalk.
Fine.
Unless I'm in New York City and I have to follow somebody.
Like Patrick.
Or Uncle Tommy. Then I'm just like, just go wherever. Get hit by a bus if you have to. Just go or else you're going to get lost in New York City.
That's worse than being hit by a bus.
Yeah, that's too much. What animal best represents you and why?
Cat.
I would say...
She's a cat. Everything. You know what? We'll have to make a separate video. I'll edit it. I'll figure out how to edit and I'll edit it. I'll get a camera. I'll try. It's in my brain.
It'll be the stupidest looking video.
I'll hire someone to with a video camera to do all these things. Everything she does is cat-like. Even her emotions are cat-like.
I'm not gonna agree. So let me pick your animal then.
You're gonna say otter.
I don't have anything else. She's like an otter.
I'm not really that
she's
much
a
of
goofy ball, goofiness animal. She loves hot
I
everything.
do like the heat.
And she would definitely just sit all day and just throw a rock from hand to hand. That's what Audrey
I
would
would
do.
do that.
She would do that all day.
They're just so chill. They're just so chill. And they have a favorite rock that they play with.
So, and they hold hands
Their
all the time.
When they fall asleep, they hold hands. They don't.
Yeah, so...
But they have little hands. I would still have a thumb. I would still have a thumb. And you know what? That's a win.
Yep.
Cats have thumbs. Some cats have thumbs.
I would
they
have a
can't
thumb.
really use them.
I would have a thumb.
Yeah. That's a lion.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Angola, Africa, or Mozambique? I'm so serious.
I want a dog ranch.
In 5 years.
In 5 years.
Oh, yeah, I guess that is.
In 5 years.
You'll be married?
In 5 years, I want to be living in Arizona or Idaho. Probably Arizona, because it's always warm. Or Africa. One of the A's. Or I, because Idaho. There's an A in Idaho. This is pointless. So, I want, like, a big plot of land, and I just want to watch people's dogs when they go away, and I just want to, like, rehabilitate dogs. And, like, I want to train dogs. Because I'm a dog. Wait, that's what you should have said. I'm not an otter. I'm more of a dog. I, like, have a thing with dogs. Like, I can communicate with them.
Patrick could be a bird.
No, Patrick's a lion.
That's right, but I feel like he could also be like...
He could be a bird.
Like an eagle or something. Like something like that, like, has
Maybe a duck.
Like one of those birds that, like, has, like, a big mane for no reason, like, has the longest wings in humanity, and you're like, what kind of bird is that? I think that's Patrick.
No, so he's a lion bird? He's a griffin?
He's a griffin.
Pat's a griffin!
He's so
He has
big.
to change his last name.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, he's listening.
What do you define as a family?
It has nothing to do with blood, in my opinion.
Yep,
I think
me
a
neither.
family is a group of people who unconditionally care for each other.
Unconditionally. There's no conditions.
No, like,
Even if you get involved in, like, serious
man,
drugs.
and that was my boy, and, like, she took my boy, or, like, you know, and then, like, that dude totally, like, took my concert tickets, now we're not friends no more. I don't need any of that. That's not family. That's stupid. There's a great Doctor Who quote. Where it's with the old guy. What's his name? What the heck is his name?
Peter?
Oh, so it's Clara and Peter. I'm thinking it's not Peter Frenchman.
Who is that?
That's French.
Is that who that is?
Totally. No.
His name
Anyway,
is Peter
Clara-
Mozambique.
Clara.
Peter Goldwyn.
No. So Clara betrays the Doctor, right? Clara's the companion. Clara betrays him. Doctor Who. That's a good realm to live in. And she betrays him, and then, like, it ends up being like a hologram. It doesn't actually happen. Like, the betrayal was fake, but it felt really real. And then, so she basically is like, oh, how could you ever forgive me? And he goes, do you think I love you so little that one betrayal would make me not care for you at all? And, like, I think that's what family is, honestly. I think that's what family is. Like, no matter what, that's truly unconditional. It's like Bob Marley said it, like, you gotta find people worth suffering for, because everybody's gonna hurt you. That's what family is.
I agree. Completely. You can just stop for everything. In what ways do you hold yourself back?
I don't eat as much as I want. No. I eat as much as I want. I don't eat what I want. I always want cookies. Or Chipotle.
I always want Chipotle.
I always want cookies.
I will wake up at 5 in the morning with a full stomach and watch Chipotle. I will go to sleep. I will be running a marathon, and I will be in a dirty swamp and watch Chipotle. In a porta potty, and I will watch Chipotle.
That's a little too far for me. No, I do like Chipotle a lot. But no, because we're trying to eat healthy, so we eat a lot now. We eat, like, tons of...
Follow Freely.
That's right.
The banana girl.
So we eat a lot.
We eat all day.
But we're just starting on that, so we're not...
Yeah, we're pretty horrible, but we're okay.
We're getting there. We're not eating enough. Like, I know I don't eat enough. I definitely don't drink enough water, so we're working at it.
Freely. Don't hate me.
This is like, what, the first week? It's like week 1. It's hard, but we're really, really trying, and we know, like, to be healthy, you have to not worry about how much you're eating, but what you're eating, and that's how I hold myself back, probably. Everything else, I'm very upfront and forward. I'm extremely forward.
I think I hold myself back socially.
You definitely do. I don't.
With a lot of things.
I just do what I want. Like, I don't drink or anything, but I don't want to drink, so I don't hold myself back. I just do what I want.
How do you want to be remembered?
I obviously in a positive way. It's kind of a silly question.
I think I want to be remembered as somebody who is mild-tempered, very calm, and within herself, and somebody who would do anything for anybody, who would put everything into that, to doing something for somebody else. I think that's how I'm not anything like that, but I'd like to be remembered like that. So,
yeah, I would want to
doing
be
great.
I would want to be remembered as a positive influence on people. Like somebody would be like, you would tell stories about to encourage someone. I would want to be inspirational. So,
if you could travel, well, we already said that. Anywhere in the world, where would it be?
we didn't say that.
Africa.
I honestly would like to go everywhere.
My first stop is Africa, and then Japan, and
Japan,
then Italy.
I really want to go to Japan, just not for like the city stuff. I don't like any of that. I don't like the city stuff because it just looks so like everybody's touching each other all the time.
Yeah, that's too much.
That freaks me out. That's
It's
a little,
like, why are
this is
you
a little
on
too
my
close.
butt?
Yeah, I don't know. That makes me uncomfortable. But the architecture in Asia is amazing. Plus the drumming. I like taiko drumming and kudo drumming. I like that a lot, and I'd want to go for that. But I also would love to go to Africa, Western Africa, for the hand drumming. I would love to go to Germany for Germany's beautiful. Everywhere. I want to go everywhere. There's nowhere I don't want to go except for like North and South Pole because I don't need cold in my life.
In what ways are you a leader? In what ways are you a follower?
I'm mostly a leader, I think.
Even her uterus is a leader. Like,
Yeah, that's true. People's periods line up with mine. Mine doesn't change that much. I can't really think of ways that I'm a follower in the fact that I wear clothes when I don't want to because it's polite. Because
cat voice.
I
almost peed myself.
I don't like wearing. I didn't even hear her go up the stairs. No, I don't like wearing clothes. I think it's silly. I think clothing is silly. I think people who are like, I understand not wanting people to be like. There shouldn't be like a sexual gain to being naked. Like that's rude when people when people dress skimpy for some kind of sexual gain. I think is wrong. But I don't think that there's anything wrong with the human body, and I think it's weird. That's how I follow people. To be polite. That's my following trait.
Okay. I think for me, I'm not a leader or a follower. I don't think anybody
You're a
follows.
loner.
I'm totally a loner. I don't think anybody because
yeah.
I think if anything, like people would try to follow me, but then my standards would be too high for them, or I wouldn't care. They would just walk away. Like I can't follow that person. I can't. Like I'm not Forrest Gump or anything, or Jesus Christ. So nobody would follow me, and I wouldn't follow anyway. I'd be like, no, I'm not interested in that. I go sit on my windowsill and knock some glasses of water over. What was your dream job growing up?
Marine biologist was my dream job.
What? As a child?
As a child. I wanted to be a marine
You
biologist.
gotta be kidding me.
And a neurologist. Those are my two dreams.
I wanted to be a rainbow girl, and you wanted to be a neurologist.
And a marine biologist. Yeah. I couldn't pick between the two. I was born with epilepsy, so I was fascinated by brains.
I wanted to be a rainbow girl.
That's more important than my work.
What's your greatest failure, and how did you overcome it? I don't know if I'm gonna answer this.
My greatest failure?
I know this was a little weird one. I will say mine. I believe my greatest failure was my first relationship, and I'm absolutely serious. I think that was my biggest failure. And how did I overcome it? A lot of unvegan ice cream. Now I'm vegan, so I don't eat ice cream, which is really sad. Unless you find vegan ice cream. Somebody's gotta tell me. Should we move on? Because I feel uncomfortable. Okay, if you could have one superpower, what would it be, and how would you use it?
Probability control.
Yeah, that's not.
Probability control, absolutely. Because then I could do anything. I could do anything. What is the probability of me learning how to fly immediately? Like me being able to manipulate gravity right now. 100% probability. And then I fly.
What would my superpower be?
Always landing on your feet. Oh wait, you got that down. Not really, actually.
I'm a horrible
Like the most clumsy cat
So
on the planet.
I think my superpower would be...
What, like room control?
I would like room control, but I think I would also like mind control, or...
Would you use your powers for evil though? I feel like you would kind of...
I think I would.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to, but
I would try not to.
I think my conscience would stop me a lot, but my imperfections would definitely say...
Like you would control Casey, like...
I would control Casey.
Casey would not even have free will anymore.
That'd be bad,
Yeah, that'd be bad.
I shouldn't have superpowers. Okay, if you could speak another language...
Portuguese.
Which would it be and why? Portuguese.
Portuguese because my
Portuguese?
fiance
Portuguese.
speaks Portuguese and I want our little tiny adorable babies to speak Portuguese, and that's why.
Me too.
Plus, it's beautiful. It really is. I used to think it was like, what is it?
It's like, oh wow.
Yeah, I used to think it was too weird because
wow.
like you hear Spanish, and it's very boxy and like really structured,
precise,
and you can
yeah.
like hear. You know what I mean?
You
and
hear
so,
each
like,
word.
Yeah, and then Portuguese is just like this slur.
What's that?
And like the more I listen to it, the more I realize like it's like a dance. It's beautiful.
I love
it's
the Brazilian Portuguese. The Portugal Portuguese is very German.
Yeah, it's kind of like a lispy.
It's lispy, and it's like instead of saying G, they say D, and like it's very just.
Yeah,
rough.
that's boxy
it's cut
in
off.
a weird way. Yeah, I prefer Brazilian.
But they still have the ow in it. It's like you don't. I don't like it. If you could time travel, would you go to the past or the future?
Future.
I would go to the future. Where am I gonna go in the past? Yesterday? No. Thank you.
Where are you? Dinosaurs. Oh, I'm dead. Ah. Oh, I know. The 60s.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
writing
woman.
because I think racism is bad. Pff, I'm dead.
Oh, the 70s! Vietnam War!
Oh, no. The 20s. Women are treated like zero things. Like, women are just like, this is a woman, babe. It's like just a thing.
You're curvy.
This is a thing I use when I feel like it. When I feel like it. When I feel like it. When I feel like it.
No, that's not water.
What is that?
It's a whiteboard cleaner.
It's a whiteboard cleaner? That's
You just
in my
heard that
mouth.
all.
I ate it. That's not vegan. That's not vegan.
Oh my god.
My eye doesn't burn at all. My eye was open.
Oh my god.
Why didn't you try?
I tried, but then I didn't know you were. I didn't know. Okay. What fad do you wish would come back? Which do you feel should stay gone forever?
Anything from the 80s should remain in the 80s.
Everything from the 80s should stay where it is, and we can remember it politely.
No, not even. I want to ridicule
I don't want to go near it.
Anything. I hate. My eye's starting to burn now. Now I feel it in my eye. I'll be fine. I'll be
it's
fine.
squeaky clean
My
white
face
now.
is. I'll be okay. Anything from the 80s should stay in the 80s because that was really gross. But fads that I wish would come back.
70s for me.
No, well, yeah,
Or
70s,
90s.
which is 70s is coming back. 90s is. I don't think 90s. Look, I'm wearing a choker
Yeah,
right now.
90s
90s
is
is
never-
here and alive. No, what I would like to come back is like those really beautiful dresses, like those corsets from like the Romantic period
And the Renaissance
and
period.
the Renaissance. Yeah, like stuff
That's
like
a
that.
lot of cleavage.
I'm okay with cleavage. Though.
Yeah,
See,
but
I don't
I'm
think
not.
there's anything wrong with bodies. I don't think there's something wrong with bodies.
No, but you have the cleavage.
I do have cleavage.
Anyway,
I have to protect
That
it.
got weird. Yeah, okay, so if you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be?
I would change myself. I wouldn't change myself. I
Let's
would
not
change. I would change my self-conscious thinking.
Yeah, like the first thing that comes to your mind is probably anything physical.
Yeah, the first thing that came to my mind was belly fat, giant chin. That's the first eyebrow. Like that's
Yeah.
the first thing. But then, if I had to make a decision, it would be how I see myself, not what I look like.
Yeah, I would want to change my mental regulations. Just my mental stuff. What is home to you? Home to me, since she's taking an hour, is any place I can be with people or a person that makes me feel safe no matter what circumstance I'm in.
I'm going through a thing where I don't know what home is, but this is a lame description because I don't feel at home anywhere because I bounce around so much. I'm like a nomad, so home is kind of it's like really loose for me right now. But I would say the closest thing to home is a place where like I can comfortably go to the bathroom. I really feel that way. Like if I can go to the
Can I
bathroom
poop
there,
here? Yes, it's home.
yeah, that's the closest thing I have right now.
What's your personal hero?
Myself. I think I'm my personal hero.
I think you're my personal hero.
Really? Okay, let's move on.
What are your 3 favorite albums and why?
That's not. You can't.
I know. It's like all the Beatles, all of Dave Matthews, Nirvana, one of them. And then there's Foo Fighter ones. There's
In Your Honor.
Arcade
is
Fire
definitely
ones.
Oh, that's too hard. That's too hard. I can't answer
There's
that,
so
but I
many
can't.
albums. All right. Well, you could bring one fictional character to life. Who would it be and why?
The Doctor.
Oh, that's a really good one. If you could choose your last words, what would they be?
I love you. What?
I was gonna say Peppa Pig.
Peppa Pig.
What's
If Dad actually does, I'm gonna slap him before he dies.
I will make him die before he dies. If I see him start, I'll be
I'm
like,
not gonna
no!
murder him.
I'll
I'm
kill him.
gonna slap him to life. You better say I love you.
Re-punch
Okay,
his
now
heart
you
out.
can die. Oh, it's dark.
I like my answer for this one. If you could fight anyone in history, who would it be? Ben Franklin.
Yeah, I need an explanation. You can't just say that.
There's no why in that question, so.
I'm asking you.
Ben Franklin, because I've always had a thing for him. Like an upset thing for him. Not like a thing.
Benjamin
No,
Franklin.
not anything like that. Since I don't know what it is, but since I've been a little girl, I always disliked Ben Franklin.
I've always liked Benjamin.
I've always not liked him because I was like, he looks snotty, and like in all movies he is like, he's always lazy and thinks he's so brilliant. And then like he's also like that guy that's like, I can get all the women I like. I would love to just go in there and let him hit on me or whatever he wants to do, or just let him be himself teaching a class, and I would just love to go up to him and punch him in the face or smack him. And then just walk out and be like, it was nice to meet you, Ben Franklin. I'm not, like, hating, but that's about it.
I'm not a violent person, so I can't think of anybody I'd want to fight. Although, I will say that in the past, it's not that I wasn't a pacifist, but, like, when I was learning about Hitler for, like, the trillionth time in high school, because they teach you that so often, that's why people become numb to it, because they just teach it so much. But I can never become numb to any of the Holocaust stuff because I don't know, I'm too empathetic. It just hurts my insides a lot. Like a pain, you know?
I had to walk out of every class.
Yeah, I would. It got to a point with my teachers where I'd go, and they just let me go.
I wouldn't even, if they questioned me, and the security guards at our school always would come up to me, and I would just look at them and be like, what you gotta say to me?
Well, anyway, if I could, like, beat anybody up knowing that I would win, it would be Hitler. Like, I would destroy him. I would mutilate him. Oh, I would mutilate him. He would be, all that would be left of him would be his head. And I would, for the last 15 minutes of his head's, like, moment of memories, I would just be torturing him. And I know that's horrible, but he like, hurts me.
Yeah, I would not want to touch him. He's so disgusting. If I would have to kill him, it could not be because I had to touch him. I would not want to touch him. Couldn't do it.
Maybe I would just let everybody attack him.
Yeah, maybe that's what the torture is.
Let them rip him apart.
In what ways are you the same as your childhood self?
I still talk to trees a lot.
I don't know what I'm like still. Maybe quiet.
I'm also an actress. I am still an actress. I'm still very, like, dramatic, but not like wah, dramatic. Just like when I tell stories, I'm very
animated.
Yeah, animated too.
I don't know. I don't think I'm the same as my childhood.
Yeah, you are.
What?
You are still, like, super empathetic, and you still adore Mom.
Alright. Let's calm down.
And you still copy me. She doesn't copy me.
We're literally opposites.
Yeah, I know. I love it.
What dream that you've had has resonated with you the most? I don't know the answer.
Alright, there was a dream that's still very vivid in my head. I've had a lot of dreams that have resonated with me very deeply.
Yeah, me too.
One dream in particular, I loved Little Bear. I was a huge Little Bear person, and I went to sleep one night. I was a lucid dreamer as well. Like, I was aware I was dreaming always. Could change things, like, I thought everybody could do that. I thought that's what dreams were. I could just do whatever I wanted. And there was this one dream. It was a nightmare, and it was really hard to control for some reason. I was on a beach with all of the Little Bear characters, and, like, everything was kind of cartoony except for me. And, like, the ocean kind of looked like paper. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It kind of looked like paper. And then, like, the ocean it, like, got really dark. Really, really dark. Like, it was nighttime. But it was just clouds, like, really scary clouds. And the ocean started coming out like a hand and grabbing all of the characters and sucking it into the ocean and drowning them. And I was the last one, and I was trying to save them, but I couldn't. The ocean was paper. I couldn't, like, actually do anything about it. So finally the ocean grabs me, right? Grabs my whole body. It's like a huge hand. Grabs my whole body. I'm sucked in. I'm, like, rolling around. I can see the paper, like, going in front of my eye, and I'm drowning like it's water. And I wake up, and I have a bunch of sheets shoved inside of my mouth. So I wake up, and I pull, like, a wad of sheets out of my mouth. I'm like, what?
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was really weird. So that's always stuck with me.
Horrible.
Like 8 sheets. So at some point in the middle of the night, I'm like this. Like shoving sheets in my mouth.
It reminds me of the Scrooge movie, where, like, he was tangled in all the sheets.
Oh yeah, maybe that's why I had that dream.
What's your favorite comedy movie? I was thinking maybe Adam Sandler.
Yeah, I like Adam Sandler.
Probably,
I like some of them.
Probably one of them. Because I don't know how to pick, like, a favorite one. Because some of them have way too much disgusting things happening.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think I could pick.
That's too hard.
If it were possible to colonize Mars in our lifetime, would you go? Why or why not?
No, I really love Earth. I love trees. I love nature. I'm way too connected with this planet to leave it permanently.
I would not be able to live there. I would love to visit. It wouldn't be in my lifetime, though. It would not be in this lifetime. Because I I got things to do, I gotta do here.
Yeah.
I got things to do, I got to do here. If you could play one instrument you aren't able to now, what would it be and why?
One instrument I'm not able to now?
I play bass. The big one. This giant
Stand-up
one.
bass.
Stand-up bass.
Probably cello then. Because I can play
Everything.
I can play a lot of instruments. One instrument I cannot play yet is cello. That is a very sexy instrument. Like, just, I don't know how to explain it. It's like curvy and beautiful.
So are guitar.
Yeah, but their sound is different, very different.
What makes you cry?
Videos of veterans coming home and hugging their children. I weep every single, because I remember what that felt like.
Okay.
And I hate it. And I don't want to watch them, but then they start playing automatically. Like, they just play, and I'm like, no, I don't want to. And then I just weep, and I can't stop. My eyes are tearing up right now. Because I remember when Dad would come home, I'd wrap my arms around him, and I'd pat him on the back. And I just remember what it felt like. Like, okay, you made it.
I wonder if my dad's coming home.
Yeah, like, that's horrible.
Mm.
It's horrible.
What's your fondest childhood memory?
I guess one of my fondest was, and this is it sounds insignificant, I guess. I was in a red car. I was really little. We were in Colorado. I was probably like 2 or 1. I don't know. I don't even think you were born yet. You were not born yet. I was the only kid. I'm sitting in the front seat. There's no airbags. I shouldn't have said that part yet. So I'm sitting in the front seat, and I'm in my car seat, and everything's red, and I hate the color red. Even as a child, I was like, oh, this color is horrendous. My dad's sitting here, my mom's in the driver's seat, and it's an old car, so it's like set up so that there's like 3 seats in the front. I'm strapped in, and then my mom's oldest sister comes up to the car and she goes, oh, she can't sit in the front because of the airbags. And then my mom and dad at the same time lean forward and go, there are no airbags, like at the exact same time. And I love that because it was before they got divorced, and it was like they were on the same page. Like they were on the complete same, they knew I was going to be safe. I was in between them, like we were just chilling.
That's really sad.
We were at an aquarium, I think. Or we were going to or leaving an aquarium, I think.
I would have gotten lost anyway. Good thing I wasn't born.
Yeah, you really needed a leash.
I really did. If you could abolish one piece of modern technology, what would it be and why? I would abolish any warfare.
Yeah, all
technology.
All of the warfare. Because if nobody had an army, nobody would need an army.
And I'd be sitting there like, ha
ha! The thing is, every time I say that, people are always like, yeah, but then somebody would. I'm like, no. If if not one person had an army, nobody would need an army. And then it was like, okay? Nobody had an army, nobody needs an army.
Yes.
So yeah, anything, because I don't know those things well enough, but I would like to say like, and then people are just gonna start fighting with rocks anyway.
That's true. Everybody's chained up. That's what it is.
Yeah, that sounds right.
If it were possible, would you own a pet dinosaur? If so, which one and why? Yes, I would.
Yeah,
which one? A dragon. Like, I know it's not a dinosaur, but that's not big. Okay. Although I will say, if I did have to pick a dinosaur, I'd probably shrink it and make it adorable. And it'd be the one with the long necks.
Yeah, what are those ones called? That's not a Triceratops, is it?
This Tantosaurus.
The little foot. The, like...
leaves.
Those ones. That's the one I would want to.
Yeah.
You could ride it. It probably wouldn't go.
Casey was like, I would slide down its neck all day.
Oh, that's true.
You'd into the pool.
Yeah. Okay. That's cute though. That's a good idea. Or if I could train a raptor, because raptors are really smart. They're like dogs.
If you could speak to everyone in the world at the same time, who would it be? I mean, what would you say?
That was really confusing. I would quote Nat King Cole. And I would say, the greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. That's what I would say. And I would quote Nat King Cole, so it didn't sound like I was being a jerk.
What's the craziest thing you've ever done?
Craziest? Like water tubing?
I would love to go skydiving. I would love to have a motorcycle go skydiving. Take me to the highest mountain, let me jump off. That'd be so cool. Okay. But I need a parachute, I'm not gonna die.
Okay.
If your house was burning and you could only save one item, what would it be and why? I have nothing I would take.
I think I would just want to make sure all of the living things.
I would get all of the animals and human beings out of the house.
Yeah, I would open all the cages and let them.
Yep. There's not one thing that I would save. Not one thing. I mean, of course, these things have matter to me, but I wouldn't.
They have matter to you.
They have matter inside of them.
They do have matter. Okay. Anyway, though, an object though.
Yeah, I don't have not one thing.
Oh, I do. It's the owl that Pat proposed to me with. Or
okay.
asked me out with, not proposed to me. That wasn't an owl. That was a ring.
What if it was a real owl? What if he had done that? Like, will you marry me? And then he took like a cage out and it was an owl.
I'd probably forget that he asked me a question and just fall in love with the owl.
Be like, I'll marry you.
I'll marry you.
How do you define love? Unconditional.
Yeah, love is unconditional, and love is striving to understand and powerful. That's how I would describe it.
Which 1900s era would you travel back to and why? The 70s and the 90s, but I also don't want to be there.
I don't think any of them. Because, like, as well, I know that I'd rock the 70s.
We would totally rock the 70s.
Yeah.
We'd be discoing every day.
I wouldn't disco. I'd be like in one of those hippie colonies where like they lived outside and talked to trees and stuff.
I mean, I would love to be a hippie, but I also want to go dancing. Yeah, I want to dance.
The only reason I wouldn't be a hippie is because I don't smoke weed.
Yeah.
That would be like the one thing that separated me from the other hippies.
Or crack. So.
They didn't
Cocaine.
do crack. Hippies weren't. They were like weed. That was about it. Like I'm sure they.
No, hippies did a lot of drugs. They did heroin.
No, real hippies, not like the city hippies.
City hippies. If you could have the answer to any question, what would that question be?
The answer to any question? How did God start?
Yes, I want that question.
Because my brain hurts thinking about that.
I think that's good.
That would be my question.
What are you most grateful for?
Love.
That sounds good. Love and life. What words of wisdom would you pass on to your childhood self? I'm gonna answer this first. My words of wisdom to my childhood self, if you're watching, is the things that you do in the heat of the moment do not define who you are, so you can change it by your next action or the next day. You can make whatever you want to happen the next day. It doesn't mean that you were the person that you were the day before. That's my words of wisdom.
I would tell myself that it's okay to be super weird.
That's a good one.
Yeah, like, don't be afraid of being weird just because other people don't like it, because that doesn't matter. Like, one day, if you are true to yourself and you do everything that you want to do, or everything that you know is right, because I was very much a peace seeker, if you keep that up, and like, not that I didn't keep that up, but I would make myself know that it was okay to do that. Like, be weird and don't care what anybody thinks, and be kind always. Because I always was kind, but there was times, like with my sisters, that I could have been a lot kinder, and I was just so frustrated nobody understood that I was struggling with, like, fitting in. And now I realize, like, I don't want to be a puzzle piece. I don't want to be another puzzle piece. I'm my own puzzle. I gotta figure that out. I don't need to fit into your system.
That is true.
I gotta align myself.
We got a whole lot of things. Also, don't be self-conscious about what you look like.
Yeah, don't really stop being self-conscious.
Because it doesn't. These magazines and these whatever it is that we're seeing on television that makes us think we have to be a certain way is only because our brains are stupid and we look at these pictures that keep showing up and we believe that that's what we should look like. But if we looked at pictures of people that look normal all day, we should not be starving ourselves or doing things to hurt ourselves just because of what pictures see. Because if we saw pictures of what we just looked at the other day, if we saw pictures of women that looked normal, everyday, regular, what we look like, we would love ourselves a lot better.
Right, not that those women who do look like that aren't beautiful, because they are, but like,
you cannot define one woman by a picture.
You can't focus on magazine stuff because all of that really is fake. Like, that's not a real person, and I'm sure that those models probably takes something out of them knowing that their picture was altered. Because I can't imagine, like, I feel bad when there's a bad picture taken of me. Yeah. I would feel a million times worse if there was a picture taken of me and it only looked good because it was altered. That probably hurts them a lot. And so I would say that as well. Like, not to, because I was always self-conscious. I have a lot of freckles. You can't really see them. You can see them a little bit. I have a lot of freckles. And when I was a kid, like, walking around a store or a mall, you see, like, pictures of these beautiful women, lovely faces, and none of them had freckles. And I was like, oh, I probably look dirty. Like, how do I get rid of them? And that's how I felt. And now I'm like, I love my freckles. They're adorable.
Yeah, I have no freckles. I wish I had a freckle. I wish I had some freckles. Thanks. Okay. Felt like spit.
I didn't even actually throw it.
I know, I'm just kidding. You should just spray me in the face with this poison. Well, future self, if you watch this again, to remember the old days if they're possible.